Oh, did you know about this? The National Center for Charitable Statistics in Washington, D.C. says there are 1 million 501c3 charities in the United States. And a lot of these are duplicate organizations. I'll give you an example. There are 39 nonprofit organizations studying turtles in the U.S. I just think that's too many. On the other hand, there are 100 nonprofits looking for ways to prevent baldness and promote hair growth. Those are the organizations we need to protect and preserve. The fact is, corporate charitable giving has been on a downward slippery slope since the 1980s. So who's at fault? Is it the chintzy business executive whose greed has crushed his or her social responsibility? Well, in some cases, that may be true. But there's also someone else at fault here. Those of you who work for or volunteer for nonprofit organizations also bear some of the blame. And here's why. Too often you approach corporations as if they're philanthropic entities. They're not. Too often you get on your knees, you hold out a tin cup, you beg for loose change, instead of showing businesses how what you're doing can be of value to them as well as to society. Companies tend to be a lot less responsive to an appeal than they are when you present them with a deal. I've been in the philanthropy field a long time. And like many of you, I've seen an abundance of unfairness and misery, but I've also seen something else. An extraordinary capacity for humans to be caring and compassionate. This room is full of people who day in and day out leave a mark on society. One underserved child, one disenfranchised adolescent, one homeless adult, or one forgotten senior at a time. But for all the good work you've done in the past, the future promises to be far more demanding. The journey ahead needs to be led by people who understand that the measure of a man or a woman is not the size of one's bank account or the square footage of one's home, but rather in the scope and importance of those deeds that change lives, those unselfish actions that make this world a better place for all.